Welcome to Geocache Adventures, the podcast where we explore everything geocaching. I'm your host, Shadow Dragon 1. I love geocaching. If you're listening to this, you probably love it too. If you enjoy the podcast, consider sharing it with somebody that you think would love it. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and there's a Facebook group as well, so you can join in the fun and share your adventures. There's also a Patreon page that you can join and unlock exclusive content. Hey everybody, Amy Shadow Dragon 1 here. Before I start this episode, I want to take a moment to apologize for not getting an episode out on the 8th of this month. I had ended up having emergency appendicitis surgery earlier at the beginning of the month, and I was still recovering and didn't have anything ready to go and didn't really want to just slap something together just to get content out that was bad. So a little PSA, it was really crazy. It started out like stomach flu symptoms, and in about 26 hours, the pain had shifted to the lower right and was very sharp. And at that point, I knew something was very wrong and told my husband we needed to go to the ER. So I'm not saying go to the ER over every stomach bug you have, but if something is not right with your body, if you know something is wrong, don't put it off. Seek medical attention if necessary. I was very fortunate because we addressed it right away. We were able to get it out before it ruptured, which made the recovery a lot easier. So just keep that in mind. If you know something's not wrong with your body and you have access to healthcare, please address it sooner than later. So let's get on with our topic. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I wanted to talk about geocaching for mental health and how that can be good for you. Now, disclaimer, I am not a medical professional. I am not a psychiatric professional. This is not intended to diagnose or treat any type of mental disorder or illness. If you are in need of help, please seek necessary attention. But geocaching can help improve your overall mental well-being and state. And I'm going to explain how. Because one, if you are a geocacher, listening to this, you probably are. If you love geocaching, doing something that you enjoy can just, in general, improve your overall mood. But there are other benefits other than just doing something you enjoy. Geocaching is a great way to get you outside in nature. Studies have proven that time in nature can help decrease anxiety and stress. That's a big part of improving mental health. Studies have shown that regular access to green spaces such as parks has a direct link with reduced stress and improved concentration and attention. That goes a long way to just making you feel better. So you're able to focus more and you're not stressed. Exposure to sunlight also has an impact on your serotonin levels. And serotonin is a chemical that can play a vital role in your mood. So the increased serotonin helps boost your mood. So being outside in the park, in the sunlight, is going to make you feel better, generally speaking. Being in the sun, the exposure to the sunlight can also help improve your sleep. It does this. Studies show that regular exposure to the sun has been found to help regulate your sleep cycles and can improve your quality of sleep. Now, sleeping problems can have an impact on your overall health, your mental health. It makes you more irritable when you don't sleep well. I know I'm crabby the next day if I don't get a good night's sleep, and my family will attest to that too. Issue sleeping can increase your stress and feelings of anxiety, as well as cause difficulty focusing and performing tasks. So already just being outside in nature and exposed to the sun has a lot of health benefits. Also, being outside, if you're walking, Hiking, you're doing increased physical activity, which is just good for your overall health and well-being, but also physical exercise has been shown to also improve sleep. So again, when we address those sleep issues, helping us sleep better, getting better quality of sleep, we're going to feel better overall in general. The physical exercise also releases endorphins, dopamine, and okay, give me a break because I'm not going to be able to pronounce this correctly, but I'm going to try. Endocannabinoids. Not entirely sure if I said that right, but all three of those are clinically proven to affect your mood. So when you have the increased dopamine and endorphins and the word I can't pronounce, you're going to have a better mood and it'll help reduce your stress and anxiety. So if you haven't noticed, there's, a trend here in reducing stress and anxiety and improving your overall mood. Those things in general are going to help improve your overall mental health and well-being. Geocaching is a great way to do this. It's going to get you outside. You can go to the park, you can go on a hiking trail, walk around your neighborhood. It's going to get you out in the sun, hopefully in a green space. Sometimes it's not. Geocaching is everywhere, so even in the city spaces. But if you're just outside in the sun, in the fresh air, you're getting some exercise in, that is going to help your overall self, your overall well-being. And, other things they say to help improve anxiety and stress, finding an activity that you love to do. You're listening to this, you must love geocaching. So getting out there and geocaching is going to just make you feel good. Other ways that, you can help improve just your overall mental health. And again, none of this is meant to treat, this is not intended as recommended how you treat any mental concerns that you have. It's just general mental well-being that we all need more of is what we're talking about here. If you have any deeper concerns or any mental conditions or illness, please consult a professional. I am not that, but I do love geocaching, so we'll talk more about that. So another thing that can just kind of help stimulate your brain activity and help improve your mood is socializing. Getting out there, being social, interactions with other people. Socializing has been proven to stimulate brain activity, which strengthens the pathways in our brain, which help fight off cognitive decline. This is also found to be especially important in older age ranges. When we start worrying more about our brain slowing down, we start worrying more about things like dementia, Alzheimer's. Now, again, this isn't necessarily going to prevent any of those, but it is something that does help, in general, your cognitive health. So socializing, research shows that endorphins are released during positive social interactions. Again, those endorphins are going to boost your overall mood and help reduce stress. It also allows you to develop sort of that emotional safety net, some emotional support group, your internal local group that you have of your companions, your family, your close friends that you go to when you need somebody to talk to. Having that support helps you to cope with, stress and anxiety, difficult times that you may be going through. And how does geocaching allow us to do that? Events. I know going to events can be scary if you're a new geocacher and you don't know anybody, but going to geocaching events and meeting other geocachers will allow you to have that socialization and it'll be based around an activity that you love, geocaching. So you already have something in common when you go to an event. Everybody there enjoys geocaching. So Going to the events will help you socialize and get those positive aspects from socialization. And if you continue to go to events and see the same geocachers, maybe you end up going geocaching together if you really hit it off with somebody, and you're going to eventually build those friendships and build that community, and then you have that community support when you need it. So you can see there's a lot of benefits to geocaching other than it just being fun. But, geocaching is so versatile in so many ways because you can use it for helping you become more physically active and helping your physical health just by getting out and walking and hiking to go find the geocaches. It helps your mental health because you're doing things, you're getting outside, you can be socializing, you're getting exposure to sunlight, and you're doing things that are allowing you to help in the long run reduce your stress, reduce anxiety, improve your mood, and just feel better in general. And it can also be a great family activity. So you're building social family bonds that way. Take your friends and build bonds that way. Or go to events and meet some new friends. So there's a lot of benefits to geocaching. You may all already know that because, again, if you're listening, you are probably a geocacher. So congratulations for doing something that is good for you. I mean, we all need to do something for ourselves sometimes, and it can be hard to get out there and do that when you work a full-time job, and sometimes you work 2 jobs, and you've got family. I mean, the world can be crazy around us, right? So we need something for us. And geocaching can be that thing, and it can be a good just me time thing, and taking time to yourself, again, can help reduce stress and anxiety and improve your mood. So why not geocache while you're doing it? You can also get a sense of accomplishment when you find a geocache, especially a particularly difficult geocache. And that sense of accomplishment is, again, going to improve your general overall mood. Now, it can also cause frustration when we can't find those caches. So we have to remember when it's necessary to walk away because we're becoming overly frustrated. Walk away and don't be so hard on yourself and go to the next one and try again. So, yeah, there can be times when geocaching maybe isn't the most positive because we are just getting frustrated with not being able to find it. But I think if you look at the big picture, you find it's a fairly positive experience in most cases. Other ways they say that you can help deal with stress or, improve your mood is trying to do something creative, okay? Creativity is a good way to express yourself, help you work through emotions. It can be a great way to relax if you enjoy being creative and, whether it's drawing or sewing or woodworking, being creative can help you improve your mood and, have that release that you need if it's something you enjoy. And a way that you can be creative with geocaching, can anybody guess? I can think of a couple of ways, actually. Be creative with your containers, maybe is the most obvious one. A creative container, it doesn't even have to be a gadget cache, but just something creative. That'll give you that creative outlet. Being creative with swag. You can make different swags. You can find ways to take your hobbies of drawing or sewing or woodworking or whatever they are, or 3D printing, and find ways to incorporate that into swag. You can sketch out. I love shrinky dinks. Get the paper, draw some stuff, and you're sketching and make your shrinky dinks. Paint some rocks. Make some little wooden carvings. 3D print something. There's all kinds of ways you can add creativity. Make bracelets, sewing. Let's see, what's a way that we can make sewing? You can, if you're good at smaller detail, I made a coaster once actually, with just a square coaster, the 4 geocaching colors, and then I embroidered a little compass arrow on it. So you could do something like that, make it smaller, make it a round disc. It could be larger swag for larger caches. there are different ways that you can incorporate your different hobbies together and have that creativity and help reduce stress and improve your mood. So, as you can see, there aren't really any negatives to geocaching other than, maybe bug bites or poison ivy. So watch where you're going and wear insect repellent, and don't forget the sunscreen, because you don't want to deal with those things later and ruin the mood boost that you just got by going out and geocaching. We talked to See My Shell a couple episodes ago, and he talked about, we talked about his GIF, and it was about geocaching and mental health. And he shared the story of a woman who hadn't been in geocaching for a while and came to the GIF event and found the support she needed while coping with the loss of her husband that she had recently dealt with. I'm sure there are others out there who have stories about how geocaching has been beneficial for them, for their mental health. I would love to hear them. So you can reach out on social media, on Facebook or Instagram at Geocache Adventures, or you can go to the website geocacheadventures.org and reach out through the contact page, or you can email me at geocache.adventures.podcast@gmail.com. So, if you have a story about how geocaching has positively affected you, I would love to hear that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you take some time to yourself, however that may look, where it's geocaching or another hobby. I hope you enjoy it. You've been listening to Geocache Adventures with me, Shadow Dragon 1. If you'd like to get in touch, you can reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or go to geocacheadventures.org, and you can find the information on the contact page. Theme music is by The Travel Bugs. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Have you heard of FTF Magazine? It's the magazine for geocachers. It is full of articles and pictures, all submitted by geocachers just like you. I'm a subscriber myself, and I love it. My favorite part is the little snippets on the edges of the articles on all the different pages. Those are my favorites. Just go to ftfgeo.com to check them out and tell them Shadow Dragon 1 sent you.